This is the first plank going on, and you put it on. It's a wide one on this canoe, which is about 3 inches wide.
Go down halfway across the keelson. And so if you put your point of your drill down in the center of your keelson, put your planking up against it, pour the hole, then your plank is in the center of the keelson. You have to bevel this on the bottom edge. When it lays down this way, you're up and down here, because your other plank has to come up against it on the other side. Take plane and now the angle changes all along, so you have to change your angle on the board. So that'll be the way that fits on there. Now you put this in the center of the stem and pour your hole. Then you continue right down to the end. Oh, that's on that side. Now you take your draw knife and you bring this down. Now don't take this all the way. Sometimes you split the end of the plank, so you saw the rest of it off. There, that's that plank on that side. We'll fit up tight along here on the plank. To get the pipe, if you just put it up like that, it'll be open all along in here, so you have to take off on the bottom side. Make it fit up tight. Now the angle changes all along here, so you have to make your plane roll as you go along. And then you'll watch to see that you get both sides even across here. So you have to take enough off of the bottom so it everything lines up when you're finished. Put a nail in the bottom here to hold it down. If this slipped up on you and you had your nail in there, it would split your plank across here. Now, you make them even there. Crank them and give a little bit, not too much. The planks on that side. You do it the same with this draw knife, you take it off. Take it off in here, same as we did on the other side. So that you hit the center of the rib. You mark on the center all the way down, so that when you go to bore, you know where you're boring. You put your nails in. So you mark them all the way along down the center. Now when I was ribbing up, I marked this rib here so I knew where the joint was between the keelson and the stem. Because on here you put a nail on either side of the joint. So you mark all the way along so that you are able to hit the center of the rib at all times. We put this strip on here to hold the ribs down onto the mold while we're putting the planks on. We have this side planked, now we'll plank this side. So we take this off and we've got a prop down here, and that holds the ribs down onto the mold. So this comes off. Now we put primer and the sealer and the preservative on here before we put the plank on, so that we're sure that the preservative is under the ribs. We'll go full length of the canoe. It isn't always possible to get full-length material, so you have to splice them. So you make your yourself a splicing box. And this angle here should be sharp enough that you're just about the same width as what your rib is. Then you put the blanking in the box and cut it off. And when you put your strips in, you push them up, make sure everything's coming up tight. If not, you have to take plane and take a little bit off, which could be possible right along here. Not very much because it was fitting very tight. Then make sure you put the splice on the rib, not halfway between, or you won't be able to nail it down. Then you take your drill and you go down and finish it off. Make sure you got the right, don't overlap it too much or underlap it. Just make it so it's nice and even. Every third strip we put on, we mark them in the center of the rib. You do this so that when you're going to bore the holes, you always have a mark to tell you where the center of the rib is, because we don't put all the nails in now. We just put enough in here to hold it up. And then afterwards bore all the holes and put all the nails in. So that's the reason we mark, so we always know where the center of the rib is.
This is just sawing them off. You saw them off a little long so that you can dress them off your plane. And
now the strips have to be pulled up tight, and we use a strap with this connection on the front. This particular unit is possibly 60 years old, and I've had it for around 50. And it's made up of a leather strap with a harness buckle on it here, and then it's arranged here so that there's a piece of steel under here, and that slips up underneath the groove, and you put it under there, and then you can pull it. Now, there's another type they use, and it just had a bar across the strap and a handle it this way, and you just held it like this and pulled up tight this way. But this way you don't have to use your hand all the time. You can just go ahead and work. So you put it on, put it down, and pull it up good and tight so that everything comes up tight. And then you bore them. Bore them on an angle like this. Then you hit most of your ribs, which pulls your rib up tight to the plank. Then you put your nails in. And move along. We have to hollow out the center of these strips to go around the bilge. And so we use a plane like this, which has been rounded, and the blade also rounded, so that you cut in the center, and that hollows out your. Now, coming around the bilge, your strip has a tendency to open up here unless you take off on the inside here. So you have to take enough off so it just comes tight on the outside. Now, it'll depend how much you have your plane blade set out, how many times you're going to have to run along. Then you try it like this to see if it's going to fill up tighter. One little spot right in here that needs to look more of. And a little bit more here. There, it's ready to put on. Now we have on the planking, when we come down to third last strip, this is a parallel, which is darker, so it shows up as a feature strip. The top strip is also parallel, but we cut it off back here to put the turnip on. We call it turnip. That's for when your gunnel comes up on a curve on the end. And that fits on like this. This has to be fitted, so as you can't pull it up the way you can the rest of the strips. So we'll show you a little later just what Yes, actually we do. We pull the other strips up with a strap, but this space in here gets too narrow, so we just put a prop underneath and drive it up good and tight. And then we put the nails in. Put one nail in at the top so that holds the planking, and you don't put a strain on these nails along here, so that when you were pulling it off, it could split all along your nails here. Now we have to fit this one up here. You can possibly see a little space in there, so we'll clean it off. There, that fits even all the way along. Then we mark it where the splice comes. And the bevel square is reversed this time. Instead of going on this way, we'll put it on this way. So we get the same angle. That's the angle. Now we'll have to take and saw this off. As you saw when we were putting the check on the strip, we had a hole down here. We've taken this hole down because we couldn't get this end of it under, so we just do this free. Okay. To remember when you're putting on the kernel, that each side the groove has to be on the right side. If you put it this way, you'll be on the wrong side for what we put it. Okay, now it's all planked, we pour the hole. You can see where we have double nailed here. There were nails to hold them here when we planked it. It was in the center, and now we put one down on the joint between the planks here, out right in, just above, so that it pulls that down. Along here, we put 2 nails in between each rib until you get back to about 5 ribs here. And then you only put 1 because you put long nails which go right through the planking, through the keelson or the stem all the way along. You now see all the nails all the way along the hull of the canoe. I wet the hull of the canoe down with hot water. This helps to hold the nails in, and also it softens the wood. We do this off the full length of the canoe. All ready to drive the nails in.